Alright, so before we start customizing, we first need to choose a fin. And now we have some options we need to choose from. This is totally up to you. The production time tells you how long it takes for the fin to be produced. And this upload area just guarantees that no copyright is violated and that you have the rights for everything that is uploaded. And now when you filled out everything, this customize button shows up and you go right to the customizer. So now you go to the image, and so you can now upload any image from your device. So if you're on a computer, just open up your folder, choose an image, and it will upload. And usually it shows up pretty big, so you first of all have to scale it down. And the customizer already shows you the outline of the fin. So everywhere where you can see the wood, this is where the image will be printed, but not outside of the fin. So even though the image is showing up on the outside of the fin, this does not really matter because it's only about the wooden area where the image will be printed in the end. Okay, and what is also important to mention is that when you look at the lips, it's red. But when you take a look at these lips, they are black and white. And that's because everything that you upload will be printed in black and white in the end. So even a colored image will be black and white. Alright, so let's say that you want to make the image a lot smaller and it starts to look pixelated. Now, the image itself is not pixelated, it still has the same quality, it just shows up pixelated on the screen. To test that, you can activate the zoom, that is right here, and when you take a closer look at it, you will see that the image itself is not pixelated and still has the same quality. But I gotta say that the smaller you make the image, the more detail might get lost, because in the end it is still printed on wood, which is a pretty rough material, especially for printing. So just don't make it too small if you have an image with a lot of detail. Okay, now let's zoom out. And as you can see, I can still drag the fin around, but I cannot click on the image. To get out of the drag mode, click on the drag symbol again, and now you can edit the image again. Alright, so what you also need to know is that white color or white background will never be visible, and instead the wood will be visible. So white color will not be printed. I can show you in this comparison. This is how the fin will look like when it is finished. So you can see there's no white color, no white background, only the black color. And in the customizer you will still see the white background, but on the finished product you will see the wood instead of the white color. But you need to make sure that it is really white color and not any kind of grayish, because otherwise it will be printed. Okay, and what I still want to show you is here you can turn the image so you can adapt it to the fin. This is pretty simple. I think there's not much to say about. It's pretty easy. Okay, so now we can still add a text, but before we do so, I still want to show you that the entire customization will only cost 15 euros. That's it. Even though if you add an extra text, it's only 15 euros for everything. Okay, now let's type in French surf. I think that's a good match for the image, and let's add the text. Alright, so the text is added. You might be able to see it. It's pretty light. Let's zoom in. And there it is. Okay, so let's change the text color to black to make it more visible. And drag it a bit over here. Alright. Now you can see the first text is added. It's pretty simple. Now there's still a lot of stuff that you can do and change about the text. For example, let's change the size. You can type in on the right side what size you want. Let's choose 22. Okay. Let's drag it a bit to the side. Go back. And I think we should make it bold and underline it. And now we can also choose another text type. there's some very nice options, I would say. So yeah, choose this one. Okay, perfect. So we got our first text set up. Now it's a bit uneven, but when it's zoomed in, I can actually not click on any of the options on the side of it. So I first of all have to zoom out. And now when I click on this big box shows up over it. So to change that, let's make the text bigger. And now we can click on the options. Let's turn it a bit. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's make it smaller again. Let's just put it back to 22. Perfect. Okay. And now we can zoom back in. Ah, that doesn't work. So, alright. Now we can see it's lined up with the image because we turned it a bit. Okay, so if you want to, you still have some more options to choose from. I won't do anything right now, but just so you know, this one resets everything, so better don't click on this one. Yeah, but for now that looks good to me. You can also drag the text over the image. This can also be printed. That's not a problem. Yeah, let's drag it a bit further down. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, and in case that you want to delete it, you need to click on it. And now you cannot delete it because it doesn't show up. You have to make it bigger. And now in the left corner, you can see the trash can. You click on it, it's gone. If you want to get it back, you click on undo and you will get all of your process back. Undo, and now it's perfect. Alright. If you are happy with the image, you go on done, and now it shows up with your customized Fynn. Just remember that the white background will not be printed, so even though it is shown on the Fynn, it will not be visible in the end. And so this applies for anything that is completely white, so white color or white background. So instead the wood will be visible, but if it is something grayish, it will still be printed and it will not be invisible. So make sure that it is completely white. Alright, and now you should be ready to customize your first Fynn.